wanted to live. She breathes. I mean, her whole life is around Baba. And I lost her in 2020, and every time I look at Baba or the name comes, I remember her. She's very fond of me. I just don't know how I can solve this. We have accepted her absence. We have also accepted that she's in the feet of Baba. But every time the word Baba, or every time I do my healing or my meditation, there is this loss that I experience inside. And there is this, when she wanted to live, and she was doing so much good, she's such a good soul. Why did you take her away? That keeps coming. And I don't know where I am in my healing journey, because every time I think of Baba, she comes in my picture. Her husband has taken, he's completely changed. Every Thursday, he's in the same temple where she visited. Every time she says, when I say that she's fond of Baba, if you have a problem, you talk to Baba. She said, no, I've talked to, he writes her name and adds Baba behind. So he's able to move on. I don't know, but there's this, I don't know if that's anger or whether there's a loss. It's so tough to accept. It's 3 years. Day before yesterday was her anniversary, so I just don't know how to get over this.
Love you so much. There are 2 things I want to share with you, okay? First one, which is very clear from your conversation, that she really loves Baba. I don't want to say loved, because I'm sure wherever she is, she still loves him as much. So I can never say she loved Baba when she was here. Exactly. So she loves Baba, and we always have grown up seeing this, that people that Baba loves the most, he actually takes them away quicker than the others. This is one thing I have always observed all my life. The nicer people, actually even the COVID times, if I talk about it, we saw a lot of wonderful people go away. It was like some very beautiful souls had decided to transition into the other world during that time. So the kind of bhav she had for Baba, the kind of love she had for Baba, sometimes we feel that Baba also misses it, he needs it, he craves for it. So he calls them, that come, I too need you. Like I had written in the book, Sai Baba is Still Alive, Lalita's story. When I heard about her going away, first there was shock. But the second feeling was that Baba loved the way she cooked for him every morning. So I felt he needed somebody there also to cook and share that same love with him and energy. So he took her away. So one thing is for sure, he really loves her as much as she does, and she's gone away. The second thing I want to share is something which shook me also very, very much. So I'll share this with you today. My entire understanding of life and death changed that day. What's your name, please? Vara. Okay. Vara Lakshmi. Wow. So this episode happened some 6 months back, and this was somebody that was very, very dear to me, and she was suffering from cancer in her early 40s. One of the most beautiful girls you would have seen in your life. The glow she had, you light like 15, 20 lamps, or maybe 100 lamps around, that kind of radiance, despite suffering from cancer for years. She used to glow like that. If that girl walks into the room will light up. So full of life, so wanting to live. So wanting to fight the cancer and live. But all the doctors gave up and they said there is no hope. Year after year it deteriorated, went worse, went worse. But I'm a healer, and that was a healer family. They were not giving up. They were not bothered like all of us are. What doctor says don't matter to us because we so believe in our Baba. And then one day suddenly I got a call from the hospital. Her sister was calling me. And she said, Didi, suddenly something has happened. I don't know what has happened, but I think she's going. And I said, what's wrong with you? This is not possible. And she said, Didi, I don't know. Didi, do something. Didi, do something. Didi, she's going. Didi, doctors are not answering us. She's in ICU. I panicked. I was sitting at home. It was Navratri Puja. I was fasting. I was in my puja when this happened. I just like literally jumped, sat on my meditation seat, and I connected with Baba, and I was desperate. You know how we are when you want to save a life. And here is a child who had always told me, Didi, Baba मुझे बचा लेंगे, मुझे पता है. I'm going to be fine. मुझे कुछ नहीं हो सकता, Didi. I'll be fine. She had so much faith in Baba. We had the same faith. So when this news came, just like you said, how can this happen? You don't want to accept, believe that this could be happening because you are not thinking like that. So it shook me also. I sat down and I connected with Baba. I connected with her in the ICU and I started healing her. Desperation in me because it felt like I just have a few moments to do something. At that time, I just prayed to Baba, what can I do? What can I do to save her? And I thought of Rishi. And I thought, oh my God, how did Rishi get okay? I remembered that day when I had put my hand on his throat and I had suddenly felt Baba's hand coming on the throat. And then suddenly I felt that energy, light, everything around. And after that, Rishi had started speaking. I said, Baba, I need Rishi kind of feeling today. That's the only way she can be saved. You have to do this. I can't do it. So I'm going to be healing her. And I have to see your hand come on my hand. You have to do this, Baba. Sitting in front of him, fighting, compelling, like a child, I was fighting that day. I closed my eyes, connected with her. I'm visualizing her, we are healers. I see her on the hospital bed. I see my sister standing on her head side because she's going into a coma, they told me. So I thought, let me just send energy from crown inward, like just what else will you do? Where will you send energy? The cancer is all in her body. I put my hands on her head and I started healing and I said, Baba, bring your hands. Baba, bring your hands into mine. Baba, come, Baba, please bring your hands into mine. I'm desperate, right? Suddenly I see Baba walking in there next to me and he slowly pushes me away. And he stood there. And I was like, what happened? You pushed me? And then I said, oh, you're healing her directly? Please, Baba, do that. I was grateful, like, oh my God, Baba has come. He has come now. He's taken over. He went, put his hands on her head like that, and he closed her eyes. I swear I would have died in that moment. It was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. When we heal somebody, what happens to us, how we are connected at that moment, the energy. And I'm expecting Baba to open those eyes and heal her. And he goes, I'm not even thinking he will close her eyes. I'm sorry. I was thinking Baba will shut her eyes, right? I was thinking he's reached, now she will be fine. I started screaming here in agony. Baba, what did you just do? Baba, खोलो आंखें खोलो आंखें खोलो. Baba, ये क्या करा आपने? Please open her eyes. ऐसे मत करो, please, please. By the time I hear her talk to me, which technically later I understood meant her soul had been released because she was now speaking to me. She was not speaking from there, she was speaking from another space. And there was joy in her voice. Didi, ro kyun rahe ho? Stop crying. And I said, बेटा जाना मत रुक जाना मत मुझे नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है डोंट गो दीदी रिलैक्स मुझे जाना है आप शांत हो जाओ सर क्यों जाना है डोंट गो बेटा डोंट गो नहीं दीदी आई हैव टू गो एंड देन आई रिमेंबर्ड all the things that she had said while in life to me when she was alive and living. दीदी मुझे ना बहुत सारा प्यार चाहिए सबका. So I went to that. I said, you had said मेरे को तो बहुत सारा प्यार चाहिए. अगर चली गई तो ये सब जो बैठे हैं तेरी फैमिली बेटा तुझे इतना प्यार करते हैं. They love you so much. How will they give you love? And she laughs. दीदी, last 5 years of my cancer, जितना प्यार लेना था उससे ज्यादा ले चुकी हूँ. इससे ज्यादा क्या देंगे बेचारे उनको छोड़ दो अब. They've given as much as they could have given. They've given more than they had inside them, दीदी. Then I jumped to the next thing. Beta, don't go. You said you wanted to grow in your career. You had so many dreams. कि दीदी मेरे को और अच्छा करना है और अच्छा. She used to work in a school. And she again laughs. Didi, 1 month, 2 months back, she said something which I don't recall exactly. You remember? I got promoted to the director of the school. अब director के बाद क्या बनूंगी? बन तो गई director. हो तो गया. Now I am desperate to stop her. I'm thinking in my head, अब क्या बोल के? Then I told her, now you're being selfish. प्यार भी ले लिया, डायरेक्टर भी बन गए. उन सब का क्या जो पीछे रह जाएंगे? What will they do, बेटा? मर जाएंगे वो तेरे बिना. एंड शी अगेन लाफ्स. अगर सब कुछ मैं ही करूंगी तो बाबा और आप क्या करोगे, संभाल लेना. आई वॉज हाउलिंग एंड देन आई जस्ट calmed. एंड देन आई सॉ her like a little baby. दीदी पापा आए हैं मुझे लेने के लिए, मुझे जाना है ना, प्लीज दीदी. पापा आए हैं, देखो पापा आए हैं, पापा चलो ना. लाइक शी इज होल्डिंग हिज फिंगर एंड गोइंग. शी वॉज सो हैप्पी. And Vara, in that moment, I realized when we are alive, we're asking for something else. The moment the soul transitions, it wanted something else. That soul had made a choice to go. Baba had not chosen. And when I understood this better was when I met the family after that. I went to see them and they were so angry at Baba. You said you feel anger. They were so angry. And because I am Jaan, Baba's ma, I represent Baba when I go, who will they be angry with? Me. Didi had to answer. आप बताओ ऐसे कैसे किया बाबा ने हमारे साथ, कर कैसे सकते हैं, हमने तो कहा था बाबा को. वी न्यू शी कांट गो, यू हैड सेड दीदी वी आर प्रेइंग, वी आर हीलर्स, कैसे जा सकती है. And I said, okay, let's sit together as a family, leave the people outside. I took them inside the bedroom and I shared the whole incident with them. And she had given a lot of other messages, which I'm cutting out now for the family. And I shared with them and I said, this is what she said. And I didn't even ask for it. I was asking Baba to stop her. And the strange thing is when he closed her eyes is exactly the time she left there because they called me after that, no? 10 minutes later, I got a call, Didi, 10 minutes back she went. Those 10 minutes I was still talking to her. So exactly when Baba did that is when her soul actually left. And then I realized that because we are human, we only think from the human perspective. Rok lo, bacha lo, she wanted to live. But when they move out into that space of love, unconditional love, a space which is so much more beautiful than this, they don't want to come back. They're so happy to go. We cling on to the memory and anger, thinking Baba ne nahi bachaya. Baba chahte. I asked Baba also after that, and he said to me, "इतना नाराज होके रोया, इतना गुस्सा किया, वो खुश थी जाके. She wanted to go. Her journey is complete. उसको मैं रोकता सबके लिए, उसकी मर्जी को छोड़ देता." He said, "How can I go against her will? Because your will is different. It is her soul's will. Every soul chooses when to be born, and every soul chooses when to go back. God does not do anything. We get the opportunity to take this life, but we are given exit points. If you go into the scriptures, if you go into researches that clairvoyants have done and seers have done, they say there are various exit points. Every soul has 3 or 4 or 5 exit points given to the soul. There are moments when you want to give up. कि हो गया बस अब चलो. Exit point. Severe accident. Some survive, some don't. Exit point. We all get exit points in our life. We choose which one to pick. When the soul is fulfilled and complete, the soul says, okay. I've had so many such cases. I'll share some other time. But I have a little girl who was 14 who said, हो तो गया था. अब तो टाइम हो गया था, मैं खुश हूं ना बाबा के पास, बाबा वेट कर रहे थे ना. आंटी मुझे जाना था, आप समझ ही नहीं रहे. आई एम सो हैप्पी ना, मम्मी पापा क्यों रो रहे हैं, उनको बोलो रोना बंद करें. I've had so many encounters with souls on the other side where they've told me that we're in such a good space. Why are they crying? And when I shared this with the family, Vara, they healed in a moment. She had said, no, आप बैठे हो, बाबा बैठे हैं, मुझे क्या फिक्र है, वो ठीक हो जाएंगे. I was shocked. 5 मिनट पहले सब रो रहे थे, चिल्ला रहे थे, गुस्सा थे, लड़ रहे थे. 5 मिनट मेरी बात सुन के everybody was holding hands. She's happy or she wanted to go. They understood what I understood, that it was her choice to go. Nobody took her away from us. So for your sister, Vara, I think a flower is dropped there. Something has dropped. I don't know what dropped. Yeah, something has fell from Baba's feet. Saira. He's just giving us an indication. He's listening and he's agreeing. So you have to understand that this was her choice, and the moment you understand this, your anger for Baba, for life, for everything will just cease to exist, right? There'll only be gratitude that he took her when she wanted to go and he's kept her safe with him. Yes, so no more tears now. Yes, it's very unfortunate. You know what happens is your children, when something goes wrong in their life, they always come and shout at the mother, no? आपकी वजह से हुआ. Mummy is like, I didn't even do anything in this, no? I didn't do anything. मैंने क्या किया? You've seen that. Your kids will only catch hold of you to complain. There were so many times the children in a family, I'm like, I don't even know about what you're talking. Nahi, that day I told you, you didn't listen, see what happened. Zabardasti pakad ke, allegation. So it's like that. So like that, when we are the children, he's the guru, he's the father, he's the mother. So when we have to fight or complain, where will we go? No? Desperation. So we go to him. So Satcharitra mein bhi likha hai that Baba says, do I kill other people's children? You blame me for taking away your child. But all of us do that. कुछ भी गलत होता है, बाबा क्यों किया? बाबा बेचारे कितना बुरा फील करते होंगे. He must be so sad. I have to share this with you. Um, After that hack incident happened with me, um, I was fighting it, solving it, resolving it. It was pretty traumatic, and it was not just the YouTube account, but the banks, like 100 things had to be sorted. And I had already booked my tickets for Shirdi. It was my birthday, as you all remember. A day after that, I had to go to Shirdi. So I could not have cancelled that either. So I had to finish everything before going. So before I took my flight, before I left home for the airport, 1 hour before that also, I was with the cops and the police finishing the last bit of things they wanted, papers and this and that, proof and stuff they were collecting. I just about managed to take the flight. So you have to understand my state of mind. Before that also, I went through some horrific experience the months before that. I'm just coming out of one and the other thing hits me, this hack. And now, after fighting and all that sorting, I reach Shirdi. When I enter the Samadhi Mandir, what will my emotion be? You can imagine how I felt at that moment. You're tired of everyday challenges, fights, problems. You just want to give in and just cry your heart out before Baba. Ki bas ho gayi, Baba, bas ho gayi. How much, where do I get the strength to fight more? I enter the Samadhi Mandir and I'm all tears, overwhelmed to see him, overwhelmed because of my problems. And I look at Baba. And you know what I saw? Whenever I look at Baba, he's sitting there with that very big smile, his head tilted, looking at me. This time when I looked at him, I just saw so many tears, not tears, so many tears. Like his face was full, like his nose was watering, his lip, everywhere there were tears. And I shook. I thought, nahi, nahi, kuch galat dikh raha hai. What is happening? I cleaned my eyes. My eyes are teary. I looked again the same. I looked left and right that everybody is looking normal. What am I seeing? I again looked, Baba, Baba, you're crying? And then I saw he's really crying and I started crying louder. And I said, why are you crying, Baba? Aap kyun ro rahe ho? Please don't cry. Why are you crying? And he goes, Ma, if you are in so much pain, did you think once how much pain I must be in to see you in so much pain? Think about it. If your child is going through a little problem, the parent gets shattered inside. You can't bear to see your child suffering. So when we are suffering, the parent sitting there, the father, the mother, how much pain must he be feeling for each of us? When I think of this now, my heart just, I can't tell you what I felt in that moment. The learning I had that when every time I cry, my Baba cries more than me. Every time I suffer, he suffers more than me. That was horrific. I chose that I should not go into pain anymore because he's in pain if I'm in pain. I have to stay strong so that he can stay okay. A different choice, right? Like the other day, Shiva Shankari Amma was telling me, she was talking to me and she said, Kanna, when I am with Baba, I say, okay, take my pain, take my problem, take this, you have to take this. I'm old now, my leg is hurting, this is hurting, do this. And then in the end, I tell him, okay, you get well soon, huh? Take care, get well soon. So we also have to look after him the way he looks after us. Amma beautifully says, get well soon to him. Similarly, if we are making him cry because we are crying, and Baba has always said this in my messages, I've told you so many times, he says, when you cry, I can't bear the tears. And he says, especially when my daughters cry, it really hurts my heart. I think the sons he thinks are stronger to cry, or they cry less maybe. We cry too much, no? Boys cry lesser. So he says, when my girls cry, I feel horrible. Don't cry, I can't bear it. What does he mean by those statements? I'm only understanding now. So all of you who are crying here, there's somebody else crying with you to see you in pain. So we should only have happy tears, no sad tears. Yes?